What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
What's
What up?
happening?
Nothing much here. We
Look
got,
at Sean got the rods behind him.
I
Uh,
know, right?
yeah, I'm actually out here on Blue Cypress right now.
Yeah, I know. I can
No.
see.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. I didn't violate the cutoff.
No,
Well, they ain't cutoff ain't until
the
tomorrow.
cutoff ain't until tomorrow.
Oh
So
yeah,
you,
it is.
you can sleep out there if you want.
That is true. You
Just-
guys hear the dogs barking in the background?
Yeah. So, all right, we got a couple folks tuning in already. So go ahead and drop your name, please, in the comments section below for the mandatory captains meeting portion for the Blue Cypress event, our final event of the year, which is pretty exciting. For the regular season, we got our championship on the May 17th and 18th, but this is our final regular season event that's going on right now. So right now, we got 26 folks that are signed up. I'm sure there'll be a few more that are going to tune in or sign up as we get closer to the deadline tomorrow evening. So again, thank you guys for signing up and joining us tonight. We're going to go over some of the mandatory captain, the meeting stuff for the event. We're going to go over some of the the team challenge, where we're sitting at with that, top 25 challenge, and we'll go over some of the Angler of the Year qualification standards again, as well as the championship, kind of where you guys fall in regards to the championship qualifications. And I'll make another post here this evening showing that as well. But what's going on, gentlemen? We'll kind of get started here in about another minute or so. Give some people another few minutes to hop on. So Sean is down here in Florida as we speak. He'll be fishing this Blue Cypress event.
Yeah, out fun fishing today.
Yeah, he has one goal in mind, and that is to beat me in AOY points. So right now he's behind.
The goal is win, but has not been a good year.
No,
I'm gonna go sore mouth everybody's fish tomorrow, and
Yeah.
then be sleeping by like 1 o'clock.
What's going on, Lloyd? How are you doing, sir? Good to see you here again. We got Josh Perez, Andrew Cordera's on here, David Noble. What's going on, guys? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get started on the mandatory captains meeting. Is going to be, fairly short and simple, like we've done all year. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you could reach out to myself, Todd, Sean, Chris Clutter, David Myers, Jeff Gallagher. Any of those guys. This event's going to be very similar to the one that we had earlier this month on Lake Garcia, meaning the launch location is going to be one single launch, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But, if you guys have any questions, it makes it a lot easier for you guys to get in contact with Todd, Sean, Clutter, Jeff Gallagher, any of those guys at the launch ahead of time. So we'll kind of go ahead and we'll jump into the captain's meeting portion. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below. We're going to be watching it. But again, last I checked a couple minutes ago, we're sitting at 26 anglers that are signed up to fish the event. Registration closes tomorrow night at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you get signed up. Make sure that your app is updated. Make sure that you guys have backup batteries or whatever it is for your phone in case it dies out on the water, so you can make sure that your photos get uploaded. My rule of thumb out there is I would upload your fish as soon as you catch them. Don't try to hold on to them. In the event that you do have a issue with cell phone life or battery life or cell phone service issues, out on the lake is generally pretty good. I haven't heard of anybody having issues with uploading fish on Blue Cypress. We've been out there a few times and haven't had any issues in the past. But again, just make sure you do your due diligence to upload those fish in a timely manner to do so. All right. Lines in. Well, the boat ramp there, it's going to be your one boat launch, which we're going to show up here on. It's the fish camp that's on there on the west side of the lake, central west side of the lake. We'll bring that up here in a minute. I'm not sure if there's a ramp fee there. I don't think there is. Yeah, I don't think that there
No,
is.
I don't think there is.
But again, you're going to be able, well, whenever Todd pulls up the map, we'll show you where the authorized staging areas is. It's one boat ramp, but there's actually two two boat ramps in that one area. One's for airboats and one's a boat ramp. You guys are more than welcome to utilize both of those. Parking should be plenty there up along the roads there, so you should be good to go. And then we're going to have our award ceremony there at the ramp by the pavilion there, or underneath the tree, one of the two, wherever Todd and them decide to do it. It's all going to be there in that one little area. So you're going to be able to launch from the authorized or the approved staging areas at 6:30. Lines in is going to be at 7 a.m. Lines out again is going to be 3 p.m. Last photo submission is going to be 3:30. And that is general. That's pretty standard from what it's been all year. So again, shouldn't be anything crazy there. The code is going to be released at 7 p.m. tomorrow night for that event. So make sure you guys that are overnight camping there at the ramp to make sure you guys get that as well. Harrelson says something on here about overnight camping is $10 a person. I don't know which website you would find that on, or if is that actually true, Harrelson? Drop it in the comment section below, because I don't know. I do know that they do allow camping there. We were there last time, and there were people camping on the peninsula that's right there on the other side of the boat ramp. So if you're planning on overnight camping, make sure you look up the rules there and make sure that you get that taken care of ahead of time, so that you don't inquire or incur any sort of penalty or fees or whatever from the people that own and operate out of that little fish camp. And Harrelson says it's on the door of the marina. So if you guys plan on overnight camping there, make sure you're paying your dues and you're being respectful of that area and everyone that's there. So I know the last couple events we've had a lot of anglers that go out to the boat ramps and camp out the night before. Just be smart, be safe, and don't break any sort of state laws while there, and be courteous of the folks that are there. So I'll turn it over to Todd to talk safety and do what he normally does, and then we'll bring up the lake and the boundaries and all that good stuff here after that.
Cool. Thank you, man. Well, safety has not changed one bit. We're all about wearing our PFDs, so that is a must. Must wear it at all times. If you need to, put on some clothing or take off some clothing, you can take it off for a brief second and put your clothes on, take it off, whatever, and put it right back on. Lines must be out of the water whenever you are changing, anything like that when you take your PDF or PFD off. If you're going launching before daylight, you must make sure you have the required navigation lights. For us, if there's no motor, a 360 light is required on whether you have a motor or not. If you do have a motor, you must have your navigational lights on the front, your red and the green. To be honest, it's not a bad idea to have those on there, even if you don't run a motor, truthfully. Yeah. So be sure that you can be seen. With your 360 light, you must make sure you have a flag that is visible up above you when you're sitting so that it can be seen from around. I'm assuming, I've never been out there, but I'm assuming there's probably airboats out there as well, or whatever boats. There's been a lot of boating accidents over the last couple of weeks. So we want to make sure that we're safe and that you're seen so you're not run over. Again, make sure you're following all of the FWC rules when it comes to being on the water. Be safe and keep your head on the swivel. Watch everything around you.
Yes. I will mention something about Lake Blue Cypress as well. Just be mindful of wind and weather conditions there while on the lake. It's a big bowl. It's a big open lake, so just be mindful of that. Know which way the wind's coming, and know when you need to get across the lake or when it is safe to cross the lake. Just be very, very cognizant of that as well, on top of the boat traffic. So last we've looked at the weather as far as the wind forecast, winds will be coming out of the east. Generally, I think the gusts were around 15 miles an hour, which isn't too terribly bad for Florida. But just be mindful that is that is a possibility that it could spike up at any time in Florida. I mean, that goes for any lake. But I just know on Blue Cypress, firsthand experience, it can get like a washing machine out there pretty easily. So just be mindful of that. Again, any questions? I don't think I see anything in there. So if you want to, Todd, if you want to pull up the lake, we'll go ahead and share your screen and we can talk through that, or Sean can if he wants.
I got it. Here we go.
It's coming up. All right, so right here we got Blue Cypress. This is that lake. This is the majority of the lake there. If you see Middleton's Fish Camp, that is the launch point. If you want to scroll in on there, Todd, if you can zoom in all the way. The boat ramp is right there by that green dot. That is your boat ramp. Oh, it's right there. That is going to be your boat ramp. Parking is going to be north of that. People can park in and around that back road on Blue Cypress Road. There's a little parking lot area there. A parking alongside that is going to be fine. There's also a boat ramp up on the north right there. That is also an airboat boat ramp that you'll be able to launch from. So when we're talking about authorized staging, you guys are more than welcome to stage inside that area that's right there. If there's a bunch of boats or people are trying to launch from that airboats are trying to launch or whatever, you guys are also going to be allowed to stage outside on that north end right there, that north wall. On the north side of you guys can park your kayaks and stage out there, out of the way of any boats that are trying to navigate that short little canal that you have right there. But those are going to be your two staging areas there. You guys are more than welcome to pull your kayak up on the banks there, on that little grassy bank. You guys are more than welcome to do that as well, and get out of the way of any boaters that are potentially launching out of that ramp. It is the only ramp on the lake, so I'm assuming there's a possibility it could get busy, but you guys are more than welcome to park your cars if you don't have a trailer where on the grassy areas along that the wooded area there on that I don't know if it's an island or whatever it is, but that whole area there. Just don't block any don't park there. Park on the north, along those roads. Yeah, that's where a lot of people camp actually, is on that grassy area there on the peninsula. But yeah, that's going to be your launch point. The award ceremony is going to be in that location as well, either right there in the parking lot or on the point where there's a gazebo. You guys are more than welcome to do it there as well. So if you want to zoom out, Sean will talk about the boundaries.
Yeah, I mean, it's all natural land boundaries. There's a little creek down there on the south end. You can't get very far back in there. I didn't put a boundary on it. And you can, it's down there. You can't really, there it is. You can get a little ways back in there, but you can't get too far. You can go as far as in that creek as you can go. I don't think it's going to be all that too far. And you can run that canal all the way up to Kenansville if you want. But you got to stay in the canal. You can't pour your kayak over a levee into Headwaters or Stick Marsh or Kenansville. You got to stay in the canal. So it's wide open. You can fish as far up that canal as you want. I think I measured it off because I thought about going up there. It's like 9 miles all the way to Kenansville, so to the end.
Just remember, you got to be able to get back in time for the awards ceremony when you make those runs.
Is there sand at the edge where you can place kayaks early? No, there may be. I can't remember.
Yeah, I didn't see sand there. I do know that there's bank and stuff up along that area, but I don't. There's no sandy beach to I guess stage there, if that's what you're asking.
No, but pending any questions on boundaries, that's all I really got. Good luck out there. Yeah, like they already covered it all. Like be safe. It can kick up. There's no storms templated, so it ought to be good.
Yeah,
Ought to be pretty good, but hopefully everybody crushes them.
yeah. Any questions about boundaries? Like I said, we've opened it up. Just can't cross any levees or any of that natural or man-made barriers to get into any other body of water. Okay, it's pretty straightforward there. Same thing as it's been all year. Identifier. I'm going to go ahead and talk about this since I've been judging a lot of the fish since I've moved the tournament since I've moved to North Dakota. A lot of anglers are submitting catches. Not a lot. There's a few anglers that are submitting photos of their catches, and they're missing portions of their the bump of their catch board. So Todd, if you want to move that out, I'm going to bring. Hopefully, I have some photos of what I'm trying to talk about here. I don't think that I do, so I'm gonna have to. No, I'm not gonna mess with that. I'll make a post. The big thing that I want you guys to focus on is making sure that the entire bump board is in the photo, right? If you're trying to get close, I've seen a lot of the bumps being cut off. We're making sure that to make certain that we can verify that the fish is making contact with the board, just make sure that it's in there. That the catch board's in the photo. Don't hide your identifier. Make sure the identifier is visible. Don't place the identifier on the fish, right? Have it somewhere in your kayak where where it is visible so that we can see the code, right? So our identifier, the top portion of it, says FKBT, Strike King, Lose, or Van Hunks, whichever identifier you're using. If you just have the white PVC showing and the other portion of it's blocked by the catch board or clothing or a piece of clothing or your hand, there's no way that we're able to determine if that is an FKBT identifier. So you want to make sure that your identifier is visible and it's on the approved FKBT identifiers listed. So just those are two things that I noticed. Mouths being cracked too. Make sure that you guys are positioning your fish and making sure the mouths are closed so that you're not being assessed the penalty for a cracked mouth. And if it's just blatantly open, we're denying them anyways. But other than that, it's been pretty easy and straightforward when it comes to judging. If you have to upload a fish in low resolution for this tournament, and I have trouble identifying if the fish's mouth is making contact with the board or the tail is touching a certain part increment on the board, if I can't determine it's a 1/4 inch, I will reach out to you and you will have to provide me with the photo taken off of your phone for that entry to count. There's been a few where it's been really hard for me to determine those total inches and if the mouth is making contact, and the anglers were able to provide me that photo. If you cannot provide me that photo for whatever reason, then that fish is very likely to be denied entry for the tournament if I can't make certain of that contact. So just if you have to upload a fish in low resolution, please just send me a message on Messenger with a photo from your gallery with it in high resolution, so that I can just match it and make sure everything's good to go and not have to reach out to you. So just keep that in the back of your mind when you're submitting those fish. If you're looking at it and it's blurry, I'm seeing the same thing. It's not clear on my end either. So but that's that for Blue Cypress. So again, if you're watching this and you're just tuning in, make sure that you go back and you watch the first 15 to 20 minutes. Well, I think up to 20 minutes now. So the first 20 minutes is going to be the mandatory captains meeting. What we're going to move into next is kind of going over the team challenge that's going on right now, and then talk a little bit about the championship qualification standards, seeing as we are